Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie O and Happy New Year first of all. This is the first video of the year. I am so excited. I'm going to be bringing you an interesting video. In the past, I have brought to you videos from urban legends to some scary Netflix series. What if the urban legends that you've grown up with turned out to be true? I know, yes. So this video is about 6 urban legends that turned out to be true. Buckle up and here we go. Let's get ready. Starting off with number 1, candy and razor blades. Now, it's been no secret that throughout time, you've heard the myths, the urban legends, the scary stories about trick-or-treating. Now, people have been paranoid throughout time from hearing stories of people hiding unknown substances to poison to broken glass to even razor blades in trick-or-treating candy. Now, this did spark up even more during the 70s and 80s. Now, let me tell you what happened here. It gets interesting. So, on October 31st, 1974, a man handed out pixie sticks laced with cyanide to 5 children. This included an 8-year-old named Timothy O'Brien. Unfortunately, Timothy O'Brien did die soon after consuming the cyanide-laced pixie stick. After this came known to the public was outraged and a manhunt was launched to find who was the stranger that laced cyanide pixie sticks for kids. The plot twist with this case is who it turned out to be. Ronald O'Brien, Timothy's own father, with the purpose of collecting insurance money. It was stated that the man did distribute the laced pixie sticks to other children, but there were no confirmations of any other children having consumed it. He was convicted of murder and executed in 1984 via lethal injection. This ended up being famously known as the Candyman. So make sure if you're gonna go out this trick-or-treating, please stay safe out there and make sure all your candy is sealed. Number 2, rotting corpse. This has to be one of every traveler's paranoia or in the back of your mind. I definitely know it's in the back of my mind. Now, when I go to hotels, this is among one of the reasons why I check everything. And this is why. Okay, figure this. You check into a hotel and you find that there is some funky smell coming out of God knows where in your room. You go on and check, you do your routine check, you check in the bathroom, you check behind the curtain, you check in the closet, and then you get to your bed. And you check under your bed, and it turns out it's just a rotting corpse wrapped in plastic, just rotting away. This hypothetical tale did happen to someone in Memphis, Tennessee. In 2010, a couple from Memphis, Tennessee checked into a hotel room 222 to be exact, and they did find an odd smell but slept through it for a couple of nights. Once time progressed, the smell did become unbearable, and after making a few checks around the room, they did find the odd smell turned out to be the missing body of a missing woman named Sonny Millbrook, stuffed under their bed. Millbrook was reported missing on January 27, 2010 after failing to pick up her children from school. She was reportedly staying at that hotel. The killer of the woman was later captured. Number 3, the Green Man. In the early 1900s, sightings of a man without a face and green skin was said to have been wandering the night. As the word of mouth of this myth increased, it actually turned out to be true. Now, unfortunately, this happened to be because of unfortunate events. The Green Man turned out to be Raymond Robinson. On 1919, at the age of 9, a young Raymond Robinson was trying to see a bird's nest and happened to fall onto the electrical lines and got electrocuted. He was left severely disfigured and he lost his eyes, nose, an ear, and an arm. Unfortunately, the face and his skin had been so badly damaged through the accident that it had a green hue. Of course, because he wanted to attract the least attention as possible, he would make all his errands and anything he had to do during the day. He would do everything during the night where there were the least amount of people and the least possibilities of being seen. Number 4, cropsy. So a cropsy can be used to describe anything from the monster under your bed, the figure in a campfire glow, or the boogeyman in a boarded up shack. In the 70s throughout the 80s, a boogeyman said to have been stalking Staten Island. This was said to be a monstrous being that lived under the tunnels of the Willowbrook School for children with disabilities. It was said this monster abducted kids that would wander off into the woods. This tale turned out to be more than a story after allegations were brought against Andre Runt in 1979. The allegations state that Andre was a convicted child kidnapper who lived in the school campsite. He did become the suspect of 4 other missing children and was suspected in being a serial killer. Number 5, stranger in the attic. We've heard about ghosts and creatures living in abandoned homes, but what about a habited home? Let me tell you what happened here in 2008. Okay, so a man noticed some of his items were disappearing, and after concluding that he had not just misplaced them, he decided to do what any of us in this generation would do. We put on a camera and see what's going on. So he sets up his camera, he waits and sees what happened, and in one of those instances, the camera did catch a shadowy figure coming down the stairs. Now, this is a story that made headlines in 2008 in Tokyo. So after checking into who this shadowy figure was, it turned out to be a homeless woman that had snuck into a man's home when he had left it unlocked, to the point that she didn't stay there, a few days, just, a few days till the rain passed, or a week, okay, maybe a month. No, she stayed there approximately a year, to the point that she found a little mattress and she took it into her little spot in some type of closet near the attic. She even stated that she got so comfortable she would go down when nobody was home and take showers. The 58-year-old woman was later arrested for trespassing. It goes to say, lock your doors before you go out, and it doesn't hurt to have a Ring camera or camera. Number 6, body in the water tank. Okay, if you know where I'm going with this, let me take you a few years back before this happened, before this urban legend developed into an unfortunate true event. In 2005, a film called Dark Water was created. Now, this was a famous movie that depicted the life of a family that moves into an apartment to which they discover the water happened to have not taste and color. It was later discovered that the previous apartment owner's corpse was found in the water tank. Taking you fast forward from that movie created in 2005 to 2013, on January 28, 2013, a Canadian tourist named Elisa Lam visiting LA checks in to the Cecil Hotel and was set to check out on January 31st. After failing to hear from her, her family reached out to the LAPD to create an investigation. They also flew in from Canada to help with the search and anything that would have been needed to find Elisa Lam. What is interesting of this case is that there is footage of her last known about on January 31st. On January 31st, she was last captured on a camera making unusual gestures and moves, getting off of an elevator while the doors were open and then coming in back a few times. Now, there have been numerous of theories created after this footage was released to the public. Possibilities after seeing this footage range from maybe Elisa Lam was running from someone and that's why she looked uneasy in the elevator. There are also theories of her being perhaps under an unknown substance, to even having a psychotic episode since she was diagnosed with a bipolar disorder. During the search, guests began to complain about low water pressure, an odd coloring in the water, and also an unusual taste. Sound familiar? Well, on February 19th, a maintenance worker named Santiago Lopez found the lifeless body of Elisa Lam floating in the hotel's water tank. Since then, we have seen numerous documentaries released. Netflix brought out their own series of what could have possibly happened, because unfortunately this has yet to be solved. Till this day, we do not know for certain what exactly happened prior and even how Elisa Lam's body got there. And those are my 6 urban legends that turned out to be true. Thank you for sticking with me and for starting off the year just right. I will be putting out more content this year. That is definitely one of my goals. I will be making a new one coming up, and it's actually going to be in Spanish, so stick around and let's see how that goes. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing 2023. Wishing y'all the best. Please go ahead and like and subscribe and share this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.